During a high school class project, my teacher told me it's unrealistic being a CEO. It's been my dream to be a CEO since I was 10, so I told her it is realistic. Follow me on my journey to learn what it takes to become a CEO. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Realistic CEO podcast. Today I'm here with Kelly Dobbins. How you doing today, Kelly?
How you doing everything, Mr. Mike?
I'm doing great.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
So the first question I want to ask you is, can you tell us a little bit about what you do here at your business?
Well, me at my business, is a restaurant based business. So what we do is we feed the public. Mm-hmm. Come in, we have a nice menu. We feed the people that comes here. We got our menu is consistently American with a Southern twist to it. So it's not just plain old. It's got a little twist of a Southern seasoning to it.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey to how you got to where you are today?
My journey is it was a long journey, but I'm gonna simplify it and make it so we can understand what I went through. Well, basically, I've been cooking for about 20 to 30 years. I started out in the Springfield Boys Girls Club on Carusi. I used to work at the overnight camp. Mm-hmm. So I started as a junior staff. I went to assistant cook, and then I got the head cook position at the Springfield Boys and Girls Club camp in Brimfield, Mass. Then after that, I had went and I said, then I started working at various restaurants, 5-star restaurants, this type of restaurant. So I said to myself, hey, you know what? I need to go back to school and get my paperwork stating that this is what I want to do. So I went to school, I went to college, I got my culinary degree. I left, I did my externship at Bay State Medical Center. So after my externship, Bay State hired me on full time. Mm-hmm. I was working there and I was catering on the side because my mindset was that Bay State was my part-time job. My catering business was my full-time job. So that was my mindset going in. So every weekend I would have catering events. So I saved up money for about maybe 2 to 3 years, and then I opened up my first business, which was in Indian Orchard on Oak Street. So I started there. I worked there. I opened up. It wasn't an easy task. Anything in business is hard. Mm-hmm. People say it takes 6 months to a year. I don't believe that theory. I think if you got to be in business at least 3 to 5 years for you to say, okay, it's gonna work. Mm-hmm. So then I started there, I opened, it was great, I enjoyed it. My first day I opened, I only made $6. Mm-hmm. And when you look at that, you're like, hey, this is not the way to do things, it's kicking the butt, so. But then I just progressed and it went on, and then it flourished, and we here today.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you found your passion in cooking? My passion
is the smile on people's face. Mm-hmm. When you put the food out and they enjoy the food. Mm-hmm. I think that's great. I mean, that's where I get most of my, because I get a lot of feedback. I ask my customers, I try to be as personable as possible with every customer that comes to my restaurant, because that's who's going to make us better, mm-hmm. is our customers. And I ask them, hey, how did you like that? What could I do better? I want that, that feedback, because that makes us better in business.
When did you first realize that you really enjoy being able to cook for other people?
Me? I got when I was I was much older. When I got into my 30s, mm-hmm. I really started honing in and saying, this is what I want. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. This is what I really want to do. So I just took it by the horn and I just kept on moving with it.
So what is some advice to a young kid that might want to create their own business as a chef?
Well, I think in business, you gotta have that passion. Whatever you come across and whatever you want to do, you gotta have that passion. It's got to be a passion. If it's not a passion, it's not going to be really what you want. You got to find something that you're passionate about, because that's what's going to give you the work ethic to go out there and do it. So for me, to young entrepreneurs, hard work. You got to put that hard work in. If you don't put hard work in, I'm a firm believer in whatever you put into your business, you're going to get out of your business. So you put nothing into your business, you're going to get nothing out of your business. So I just think that young entrepreneurs, they got to have goals. Set your goals, see your goals. You got to see them every day. If you don't see them every day, what happens? It's not realistic. Mm-hmm. So you gotta see them all the time. And just like that, and I appreciate when you and your dad came down and we had that cooking class with the group out of Connecticut, and for us to share that with them. You know what I mean? Someone your age, becoming a CEO, your story that you went through and your span and becoming what you are today is important because they can relate to that much more than me, than any other person, because you're right there in the same age category. So that's great. I really appreciate that you guys dropping everything, coming down and sharing that with them. That's important.
So I have a question. You said the first time that you opened, you made $6.
$6.
How were you able to stay motivated after that day?
Well, it's things like that. I'm self-motivated. So me is like, okay, $7. Okay, so what did I do wrong? So I'm looking at what did I do wrong, and I'm like, nothing really. The food side or anything, not really was. So what it all boils down to, it comes back to marketing. People don't know you're there, they can't come see you. So then that's when I said, okay, I'm gonna get my menus. I'm gonna start putting my menus on people's doors. Then it started to get better. Because we always got to take a look at what we're doing in business for us to be successful. And that's what we always got to do. We got to look at ourselves all the time, consistently, on what we're doing, because we got to get to that next level. So
how are you able to self-reflect on the things that go bad and able to turn into a positive instead of letting that bring you down?
Well, me, I always, I don't sweat the small things, and I don't sweat the things I can't control. I only focus on the things that I can control. And what I can't control is my actions. So I can get on Facebook, I can go crazy. I can get out to the community, hand out my flyers, talk to people, go see them. Because, they always want to put a face with a name. That's important, because they'll never forget that. So you got to get out there. So I find other ways to get out there so people know who we are, where we are. And that's how it all boils down. You got to have that good marketing. And you're great, because your dad is marketing, you learn from here to there, so you're good. You get that foundation. So you have a lot to share with the youth as well.
So what is some advice that you can give to the youth that are kind of looking to find their passion?
Well, when you find we can't find, is within us, our passion. I can't say to the kid, hey, that's your passion. They gotta find out what their passion is, and then they gotta have people to back them in their passion, to give them that, say, hey, you know what? We're gonna support that passion. Let's go out. Let's do this. What can we do? What is our steps to get to that? Where are we going? If you want to be an architect, okay, then we need to get you around people that do that, because those are the best people to be around if that's what you want to be. Link you up with the people that, whatever your passion is and whatever you want to do in life, we got to find somebody that's in that field so you can have that strong foundation and know what that field is really all about.
So what are some ways that we can find mentors?
Mentors, I mean, mentors, it is hard to find mentors because there's not a lot of mentors out there. You know what I mean? When I was coming up, we didn't have mentors. We didn't have that. It's either you're gonna sink or swim. Go out on a limb and do what you got to do. But mentors, I mean, there's mentors. I'm sure there's mentor programs out there to mentor kids. I always extend my hand, just like with your dad. He's really into the mentor programship over there with the kids over at the program over there. I went over there. I walked. I seen. Hey, I extend my, hey, if you ever need any help, hey, I'm here to help. Just let me know. But, Junior Achievement, I'm sorry. Junior Achievement Program. So I throw that line out. When we throw that line out, you got what you're gonna do with the line. Is either you're gonna take that line and do something with it, or you're just gonna leave that line out there.
So how important is it to make sure that you're networking with the right people?
That's very important. Networking is very important. Networking is and I don't do enough of it myself. And that's one of the things I need to consistently do. But so I'm so bogged down with working all the time and trying to, create the brand that's where I miss the going out networking. That's powerful. You know what I mean? Network, because people know who you are. They know what you have to offer. So that's really important. Get out and network as much as you can. But that's what I need to work on, getting out networking. Yeah.
So you said you're building your brand. It's like, what are some ways that somebody can build their brand to make sure that they have a positive light?
Well, me, I build my brand. I'm out there. I'm a walking billboard for my business.
Mm-hmm.
When they see me, they see my business first. They don't see, they see the business. So that's the first thing. The person that's in the business, they got to be the most, they got to be in it, and they got to be the billboard for the business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm the face of the business. So when I'm out there in the community doing things, people know, oh, he owns Ionas. Oh, we know him. He does this, he does that. So you got to build the brand. You know, you got, and people will build your brand for you too. Because when you go to those networking things, hey, yeah, we met Kelly, he does it. People will help you build your network and build your brand. So you just got to get with the right people. You can't break bread with everybody, as they say. You can't break bread with everybody.
How important is your first impressions when you're networking?
Your first impression when you're networking is very important, because that's what people notice. The first 3 seconds they come in contact, shake your hand, they already got an impression of you right then and there, quick. So that first 30 seconds, the elevator pitch is important.
So what are some ways to make sure that your first impression is just a straight positive? Yeah, I like this guy. I want to do business with him.
Me, I think you got to be real. You got to be real with yourself when you go talk to people. You got to make sure you're real. Make sure you're not projecting something that's not really there. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Be yourself.
Another thing you said you can't break bread with everybody. So how can you make sure you find the right people?
That, to me, to be honest, that's all learning experience. In the field, that's learning experience. It's all learning experience out there in the field. It's all learning. I can't, because the encounters I have with people could be different the way you have your encounters with people. So that's all in the field. That's all about getting out there, getting in your grind, getting out there. That's how you learn. You got to make a wrong left turn to learn. We can't block people that's going into business from everything. It doesn't work like that. You got to see for yourself.
So what are some ways to make sure that when you find the right people, that they know that you are looking for them as well?
You just, I learned in my journey in business, I learned that you got to associate with people that has the same mindset that you have, because that's going to make everything better. Because they got the same mindset you got. They understand you, you understand them. And that makes your business grow, that makes their business grow.
So when you are working with other businesses to grow, how are you able to make sure that you keep it professional, but also it's an environment that's positive as well?
Well, the thing is with that is a lot of people don't know how to collaborate, and that's the problem. When you collaborate, if I'm coming to your business to collaborate with you, it's not me saying, hey, this is I'm helping you I'm collaborating with you. This is your thing. A lot of people don't understand that. They think collaboration, oh, I need all the limelight, or you need all the limelight. No, I'm here with you. We're here to help you, make your business successful. It's not about me, it's about you. I'm collaborating with you. And people don't understand collaboration. And that's the hard thing about doing business with people. They don't understand collaboration. You got to understand collaboration.
So how can you understand collaboration?
That's what I'm saying. So so say for instance, if me and you, if you say, come to me, hey Kelly, I want to, let's collaborate. Okay, what's my part? I got to know my part because I'm collaborating with you. So you tell me my part, the part that I have to play in the collaborating with you, because I'm collaborating with you. As long as you tell, I do my part. So that's my collaboration. Most people don't see collaboration like that. They see, oh, I'm going to collaborate with this guy. This is what they think. I'm going to collaborate with this guy, and it's all about me. But what about you? It doesn't work like that.
So when you collaborate with somebody, how do you find out to make sure they're in it for both of you instead of them just trying to take advantage of you?
That's the trick, because you don't know. That's the learning process. That's how it comes with experience in dealing with people on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? So that's all out there in the field, working and really knowing who's who and what people are really about. So that's why you can't break bread. You got to see what people bring to the table. I'm in business. Okay, what are you bringing to the table? You got to bring something to the table. We all sitting down. Okay, I'm bringing this. You're bringing that. He's bringing that. What are you bringing? You can't come to the table and don't have nothing. It doesn't work like that in the business world.
What has been the biggest lesson that you learned so far while owning your business?
The biggest lesson I learned in business is partnering up with someone. That's the biggest lesson I ever learned. I would never, ever partner up with someone, because partnership is like a marriage. And if you don't have the right partner, it's not going to work. And I learned that the hard way. I lost a lot of money, and I learned that the hard way. So that's an experience that I would always have, that I would never, ever partner up with anybody. Collaborate, yes. Partnership, no.
What has been your favorite? What has been your favorite moment so far, being able to own your own business?
My me with owning the business is a grind. I enjoy what I do, so it's not like work. When I come here, it's not like work. So I enjoy what I do. The most important, what I see and what I get out of it when I come in, is a smile on people's faces when they eat food. They really enjoy it. They smiling, they talking. I get my satisfaction from that. That's the greatest thing in the world.
When you're making your food, like, what is the thought process and your steps behind to make sure that it works?
To me, I'm a creator, so I like to create things. So when I create things, obviously I'm trying it first, and then I'm taking it to other people to try before I put it out. So it's always, if it's not right, it takes me at least, if I'm going to put something out, it takes me at least 2 weeks to go through it and make sure I can put it out. I'm just not going to put something out and then be like, I take my time with it. I try it. I let my mom check. My mom is my worst critic. So she's going to tell me, you already know how moms are. You already know. So she going to tell you what it is right from the jump. So I take it to her. I say, hey, Mom, what do you think about this? And she tells me, hey, this don't taste right. You need to fix this. You need to fix that. So that's how I get my feedback.
So speaking on you having your mom critique your food, how important is it to have somebody in your circle that's willing to tell you the truth?
You know what? You have to have somebody that does that. You have to, because you won't grow if you don't. That's how you grow. Constructive criticism is the best. You need that. Every business owner, everybody that's going into business, if you can't take constructive criticism, you shouldn't really be in business. You should not really be in business, because you're not going to grow without it.
So what are some ways to like lower your ego so that you can take the constructive criticism?
That's all on people. People's ego can be up through the roof. To me, stay humble. Got to be humble. Got to be humble. That's what it all boils down to. Got to be. We all make mistakes, and we all wrong. So you got to be humble.
So, how are you able to stay humble when you own your own business?
To me, I say like this. In life, you know what I mean? This can come and go quick. You can work so hard for it, and you do one thing wrong, and it's gone. So that keeps me humble. I know where I was when I was growing up as a kid. I know where I was. I know what it is to be there. And this right here doesn't change me as a person. I'm going to be me regardless. This doesn't change me. This is what I do for a living. It doesn't change me as a person. But when money changes people, that's when you have a problem. You just can't do that. You got to stay who you are. You got to stay who you are. And that's the greatest. If people don't take anything, just remember who you are and remember where you came from. You're going to always get there.
So when you come in, you might have a bad day. Like, how are you able to make sure that you don't reflect that energy when you're working with your customers?
See, that's a hard one. See, that's why I stay at the back. That's why I'm in the back, because that's why I have people out here. Because sometimes when you do have a bad day, it's hard. Because everybody has a bad day and everybody's entitled to. But my bad day shouldn't reflect on my customers or anybody else. That's why we have we have people out here in the front that don't get me wrong, I do come out here and I speak to people, but majority of my job is I'm supposed to be back there.
When you're building a team, like, what are some important characteristics that you're looking in the people?
Well, when you build a team, and any business you go into, you got to have good customer service, right? Because business is nothing but customer service, no matter what you do. Basketball, you have a basketball team, you got, you run a clothing shop, whatever, boys club, girl, whatever you run, it's all based on, customer service. So it's all about customer service. You got to make sure you have people on your team that knows you got to give out good customer service. You got to have that. That's important.
As a leader, what is some important characteristics that you have in yourself that a good leader should have?
Well, I think that first, I'm self-motivated. It's hard to find people self-motivated. I'm self-motivated. I would love to find people that's self-motivated or someone that you can motivate. Because some people you can't motivate. They just, I'm here, don't have no inspiration, don't have no smile, don't have nothing. And those people I try to stay away from because that's not gonna help my business. I can't work with that, you know?
So when you are working and let's say you might like mess up on the food, like what are some ways that you're able to stay positive and be like, yeah, I might have messed with that one, but the next batch is gonna be way better?
Well, you have to make mistakes to be better. So if I mess up something, now I say, okay, now I know I can't do that because this is what's gonna happen. So I learned a lesson from that. So when I mess up, I learned a lesson from where I messed up and how did I mess up. So you got that. So now the next time you won't do that.
So how are you able to take your mistakes and turn them into lessons?
Me, it's just, it's because it's learning. You got to learn. That's like if you go to school and you get an F on your report card. What do? How do you recover from that? Okay, now I know what I got to do. I got to go talk to my teacher, figure out how can I fix this F? How can I get out of this? You know, how can I fix this F? What do I have to do? So me as a person, I go through and say, okay, I messed up. What was my steps for me to mess up? My recipe. What is the steps where did I go wrong at? And you go back to that recipe, you look at that recipe, you know what I mean? Maybe it called for a tablespoon of salt. I put 2 tablespoons of salt. So now I know I can't do that because, you know, it doesn't work. So you got to go back and look at what you did and your guidelines of what you did and where you get it from. And you should learn from that. You should be taking notes, saying, okay, I can't do that.
So when you're looking back and finding the mistakes inside your recipes, like what is kind of like your thought process behind that to make sure that you're like, yeah, this might taste good to somebody, but I don't like the way that tastes for me.
Right. See, and you got to remember too, we can't please everybody in the restaurant life because everybody's taste buds are different and their palates are different. So it's hard. It's really hard. But we try to stay at an even platform where we can make everybody enjoy the food. So that's what that's why I try to train my taste buds for. You know what I mean? It's hard, but that's something you have to do. It's a process of doing it because you do it consistently. So it's like, we're not going to please everybody in the restaurant life, and we know that. But if we can please at least 50 to 60% of the people in the world, then I think we're doing a pretty good job in the food industry. Yeah.
You talked about when you're hiring, you want people with good customer service. Why is having good customer service important?
Because I think like this. I'm a firm believer in this. I can go to a restaurant, the food can be terrible, but if I got good customer service, I'm always going to remember that customer service. They got good customer service there. It was great. Forget about the food, because you know what I mean? Because that's what you're looking at. Customer service is always. Half of the time that when people come to a restaurant, they come in for the customer service. They know how you are as a person. They like it. They like your attitude. They like what you do. That's what they come in for. They come in for the food too, but they come in for that as well.
When you first started cooking, did you have like any inspirations to becoming a chef, or it just happened naturally?
It just happened. It was like it just happened. I didn't say I was going, because what I really wanted to be when I was growing up is because I wanted to be a fireman. Always wanted to be a fireman. I'm gonna be a fireman. I'm gonna be a fireman. I took a right turn and look, I'm not even nowhere near that. I'm dealing with fire when they're pulling people out of their buildings. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, like, what is it about cooking that is just so passionate, that makes you so passionate?
Well, I mean, I'm a creator. Because, you know, cooking is an art. So it's just like with anything. It's an art. You want to go out there, you want to master, because everything, in the cooking industry, things change day to day. Everything is changing all the time. You can come up, you can make a new recipe every day. So I like the challenge of getting up every day and know, hey, you know what can I go in today, create? What can I create today? To let people try and see what they're going to say about it. It's never boring. Never ever boring.
So, like, give me a little thought process behind your creative thoughts.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy when it's like, it just comes, like I could be standing back there making a normal egg and cheese sandwich and I just pop up in your head. Like, yeah, okay, let me try this. It's just, you do it so long and you see things like it's repetitive. You're like, no, I can do something different. I know what other way can I flip that A? Let me try. Can I make a grit ball? How can I make a fried grits and put cheese over? Is this the process? But then, okay, how can I make this reality? How can I do it? Make it reality. How can I have fried grits? Have you ever had fried grits before? I ain't never had fried grits before, no. But I'm working on it. So you heard it here first. So when it comes out, we set it on Realistic CEO. That's right. Yeah.
In the book, Tony, he talks about the LBW, the long, lonely, boring work.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your journey in the long, lonely, boring work that you had to accomplish?
Well, you know, in business, it's hard because a lot of people don't see your vision. It's hard to get somebody to see your vision. And when you're out there and you can't get nobody to understand your vision, it's lonely. Because you figure, I'm out here and don't nobody understand what I'm trying to go through and what I want to do. And it's hard. And you're lonely because nobody wants to put that time in with you to get to that. And that's why a lot of people go wrong. And people are like, I'm not doing that. Ain't nobody gonna help me. But that's where the self-motivation comes into play. Now I'm self-motivated. So you could tell me no, but I'm gonna go and do it anyway and try to do it anyway. And that's what you have to have. You gotta have that get up and go. You gotta have that get up and go.
So you talked about you're always self-motivated. It's like, what are some ways that somebody can find that motivation inside of them?
Oh man, I don't know. You got to push yourself, man. It's like I tell people all the time. If I can want something for you as hard as I want it, but if you don't have the same drive I have for you, it ain't gonna work. I tell my kids all the time, I'm here. I'm going to push you as much as I can. But if you don't take it and run with it, what's this? Let me push it. Because you're not going to run. I'm pushing you. Only thing you're going to do is get aggravated with me. Because I'm pushing you and I'm pushing you. So motivation lies into everybody different. Everybody's motivation is different.
So like, what are some ways that you were able to find your motivation to get your business going?
Me?
Yeah.
Hey, I got bills to pay. If that ain't motivation, because they come like clockwork. If that ain't motivation, then I don't know what is motivation. You know what I mean? Hey, I got to get up. I got to make sure this is right. You know what I mean? Like I got a family. I know I got to provide for my family. That's motivation in itself. One day you're going to grow up. You're going to have a family. That's going to be motivation for you to say, hey, you know what? My kids can't go without. I got to get out here. This is motivating me to get out there and do what I have to do. And that's where the motivation come in. And if you have a family and you see that your kids need something and you don't have the motivation to get up and go, there's a problem. That's a big problem. So
speaking on family, how are you able to balance your work life and make sure that you have time for your family as well?
That's hard. In the restaurant business, that's really hard because in restaurant business, it's so demanding and it takes a lot. And now, because I've been in business for myself since 2014, just right now, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I got to take time. I got to make time. So it's all about, you put that work in and then you can start seeing, okay, let me back up a little bit. I can back up now. I can see it. It's coming together. So it's all about the individual and how hard the drive is to get to that plateau when you can start doing that.
So I have one more question for you. Final question. What's a fun fact about yourself that like nobody really knows? Yeah.
I just like to have fun, man. I'm out there. I'm on Facebook. I just like to have fun. You got to have fun. Whatever you do, you got to have fun. If it ain't fun, then you ain't living.
Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Yes, sir. I thank you for taking the time to come out after I, jumbled up your whole schedule today. You know what I mean? But I want to say something to you myself. I was telling your dad that I'm really inspired by the way you took that negativity and you made it into a positive. I think that's great, and I commend your dad on how he you guys can take showed you to take a negative and turn it into a positive and make it your own realistic dream and saying, hey, look, I can do this. Can't nobody tell me I can't. And it takes a strong person to do that, because anybody else, they would have took it the wrong way and they might have took them off the deep end. So the way you turned that around and made it positive, that's great. That's really great. That's commend. You should give yourself a pat on the back, man, and keep rolling. And what you need to do is do on your ways out there in the world, man. You need to really share that and hone into those kids and let them know this is not something you're making up. This is something that really happened to you. And you share it and let them know this happened to me. I was there. This is not a story. This is real, and it'll go a long way. You know what I mean? And this right here. I mean, you see my video on Facebook. I'm out there. I think it's a great story, man.
Thank you.
And more kids should really do what you did. You know what I mean? And that's where it comes with that support system. You have that support system, and we got to get out here and get these other kids to have that support system. So thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Realistic CEO Podcast. See you guys in the next one. Peace.